Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of Open Dialogue Forum in English. And sorry for the delay, but now we are live and we are now going to talk about another interesting subject. And we have with us Juliana ji from Moscow.
Mm.
Welcome, Juliana ji.
Namaste, everybody.
Yeah,
Good evening.
yeah.
Mhm.
And she's going to talk about a very important topic, childhood psychotrauma, and are our parents to blame if somebody has a psychological problem. Then she's going to elaborate a bit on that from her experience and her knowledge in psychology. So um, Juliana ji, please go ahead and uh, the
Yes.
I hand over the session to you.
Mhm. Today, I would like to touch upon the topic of childhood psychotrauma, about the impact these traumas have on our adult life, about how big the fault of the parents and should we blame them or maybe not. And also, whether is it possible to solve this problem at a social level. Throughout our lives, we experience many problems, stresses, frustrations, which leave a serious mark both in our mind and in our body. And some of the most common and strong psychotraumas are associated with relationships, especially with relationships between parents and children. In the minds of modern people, at least in Russia, in Russian society, there is such idea. It is our parents who are to blame for our current difficulty. Or maybe not parents, but close relatives. How good was the child's relationship with parents? How much love and care child received from them? How high quality his adult life and relationships will be. This idea is partly correct, although we can't blame our parents for all our problems. And I will little explain about it. However, it is a fact that some of the consequences traumatize in child's psyche, and they are difficult to overcome for many years. For example, if a child has experienced violent actions by adults, especially sexual abuse. Unfortunately, this does not happen so rarely. The second is systematic physical abuse. When a child was hardly beaten, when beating was considered by parents an acceptable way of raising. But there are many more cases when children are subjected to minor or major psychological abuse. For example, parents yell at them, pressure, apply moral punishment, humiliate, criticize, ignore his need, etc. In psychology, there is a concept of toxic parents, minimum here, this concept, or emotionally immature parents. These are parents who are unable to provide their children with a normal, healthy childhood. With such parents, children don't feel loved, understood, or protected. But even if the parents are good enough and they love and care for their child, they too can sometimes become toxic. And then the grow-up children of such parents come to psychologists and complain that they have difficulty with building harmonious relationships with others. They feel insecure, have low self-esteem, or suffer from inadequate aggression, strong negative emotions, and have tendency to depression. They also have feeling of guilt, shame, excessive demands on their partner. All this increases the suffering of a person. Many such people blame their parents very strongly and rarely think about fact that parents are also living people who born and raised them in a specific social reality. Their living and working conditions were probably very difficult. Maybe they had a big health problem or could be psychologically traumatized also in childhood, or when mother was pregnant, or when we were little, the parents themselves were in state of stresses or depression. This does not mean that I do not judge parents for abuse, especially for hard physical violence. But in some simpler cases, we can understand them and not condemn them too much. And for a lot, you can simply, for example, forgive. But even if we blame them or even put them, I don't know, in jail, the problem will not be solved. By the way, there is research on how childhood trauma leads even to health problems. Of course, stress generally affects health in any age too. But does everyone know this? Not all people are well educated and have enough general knowledge, for example, on psychology or biology, neuroscience, and they don't really think even about how that relationship with parents has on the child's entire life. Fortunately, this knowledge are more available now. There are also many research on how the mother's conditions affect the child in the womb. You know, for example, a child may develop a tendency to depressive disorder if the mother had hard stress during pregnancy. In the body of such person, it's little scientific knowledge, you know, some disorder, some in biomechanical processes in the brain, some, you know, some disruption. For example, imbalance of three neurotransmitters, serotonin, noradrenaline, and dopamine, which are involved in regulating or like our mood and behavior. But yeah, this is a topic for another conversation. One adult woman received a call from it's a real case, received call from her mother. Her mother were very good and very kind woman who is retired, but is actively interested in the latest scientific research. So she heard in some lecture by famous neuroendocrinologist that the stress of a pregnant woman has very bad effect on the child. The mother was very upset and told her daughter that in the very beginning of pregnancy, she had experienced tremendous stress. And perhaps this had a bad effect on her daughter's health. The daughters really had experience of depression, and not only one in her life, but she was well educated and therefore calmed down her mother, explaining to her that even if there was such a tendency, but under a favorable social condition, depression might not have happened. But in life, she met a abuser man as husband, and also engaged in long-term stressful religious practice. She had periods of problem with work, children, and many other difficult circumstances, which all together just provoked such depression. It is a fact that psychological state of the mother affects the child. But is the mother to blame? Can we really judge her? Her stress was caused by adverse environment conditions. She met a young man whom she loved very much and from whom she became pregnant. At that time, there were difficulties in society even with contraceptives and in general with sexual education. She did not tell anyone about pregnancy, including him, this man, because she fearing public condemnation, because they were not married. But then the relatives found out about it and began to put pressure on her to have an abortion. After all, she's very young. What we should do alone with this child, how to provide for him, who will help her. She will have to leave work, how she will survive alone. And of course, the young mother suffered greatly, cried at night, but firmly said, I will not have an abortion. Fortunately, the story ended well. They ended up getting married and having a baby, but the stress was very strong and it had an impact on the child. But the mother cannot be blamed for this. She just loved and wanted to be loved, but the circumstances were against her, and she is not the only one. And also another example of my client who had basically also very kind, caring and loving mother. But she too sometimes, snapped her, screamed, could spank. Because it seems to her that daughter was very stubborn and did not obey her. For example, such cases. Mother said that such cases with her were very frequent. From mom's point of view, the situation looked like this. She calls daughter to eat. The food is already on the table. Mother has prepared it. Daughter answer, okay. Small daughter, okay, I will go. But don't go. Sit down. Doing some, her business, some playing. Mom is calling again. The food gradually cools down. And mom has a lot of other things to do. She can't reheat food again and again. She can't think only of daughter. She needs to take care of her husband also, needs to do work, housework. But she's sure that the baby must be fed 3 times a day and must not be left hungry. It seems to her the child doing it just for spite. Don't obey her. She is already beginning to shout, Natasha, go to eat. Child don't answer again. She gets angry, offended, stressed. Then she comes up to child, grabs her hand and by force drags her to the table, giving and spanking also. What a stubborn child I have. She only thinking about herself. Natasha is feeling bad also, of course, in stress. She could cry also. Because from her point of view, the situation looked very different. She sits, minding her own business, for example, some playing. Maybe even not hear that mother is calling her, or maybe thinking that it's not so need quickly go. And she's not hungry also, don't feel like eating at all. And suddenly, unexpectedly, mother grabs her, drags to the table, spanks, and swears violently. Of course, the daughter is offended, unpleasant, angry with her mother and stressed. She also can think, oh, how bad mother I have. Mother only thinking about herself and don't think about me. And who is to blame? On the one hand, it seems that adults are obviously to blame, but the adult has many reasons that lead to this behavior. Moreover, this mother, after this, she also upset, she worried, she blamed herself because she did like this for a small child. And there are a lot of people like her. Of course, if a woman had more knowledge, if there would be more free time, more money, less stress, and personal problems, everything could have turned out completely different. Our parents also have their own personal lives, but when children are born, at least mothers have to give up, sacrifice many of their interests for the sake of children. There are, of course, mothers who love to take care about children. For example, they're teachers and educators by profession or vocation. But not everyone like that. There are many other mothers who have their own wishes, not just the wish to take care on the child and satisfy his wishes. And that's okay. Even if a mother who loves her child very much does not have time for herself, you just look, this will become stress for her. It become problem for her. And it will affect her relationship with the child because she will feel exactly child, the cause of my difficulty and my tiredness. Fortunately, if the mother has the opportunity and the money to, for example, transfer part of child's care to maybe nanny, here we call it like babysitter, such a mother will be able to better rest and take care of herself, relax, and joyfully return to her motherly duties. But can every woman afford it? Many women in my country also want to be socially realized. I also hear about such type. And they try to get back to work as soon as possible. Having our children to can be grandmother, nannies, or giving them to nurseries and kindergartens. And this is this is surely more better than accumulating tiredness, suffering, and then traumatizing our children psychologically. Also, according to old tradition, society little condemned, even now little condemns such behavior as if the main task of woman is to give birth and take care of children. Of course, it's not like this. And by the way, it's a few days ago I listened that in some Europe countries, mother and father, maternity leave, декретный отпуск, here basically only for mothers, mainly. But in Europe, this maternity leave, mother and father, one by one taking. And it is very right. It means sometimes the father sits with the child, sometimes the mother. And this time other partner is working. And another time they're working by their interest and it's equal take care. Or another example. Everyone, of course, knows that during pregnancy, we need to very take care of our health. Eat well, don't drink or smoke. Of course, I am not making excuse for women who smoke or drink, but as psychologist, I know that many people start drinking or smoking because of the very serious stress and suffering in life. Sufferings are so strong that there is, in choice. It is unbearable to suffer or smoke or drink to calm down. Then it is bad. And in general, we often have to make a choice in life between bad and very bad. Or, like very bad, moderately bad, just bad, and little bad. In our life, we many times facing with such kind of choice. And it is possible to say that only ourselves are to blame for this. And what to do? How to solve this problem? Basically, from psychological perspective, now to work out psychotraumas, a person can turn a psychologist or psychotherapist, or if the problem is even more deeper, to a psychiatrist, and to some extent get rid of psychological trauma and return to psychological norm. And it is possible that his attitude, because he become little psychologically normal, then his attitude to his child or her child will be more good than their parents. But it looks like how we can, every person, because most of people have some kind of childhood psychotrauma, how we can give to everyone psychologist who will help to heal their soul. But society itself continues to generate more and more psychologically traumatized people, parents and children. There are a lot of stresses in life, due to which family relations become not good. Parents suffer, then children suffer, then they themselves become parents, and children suffer because of them. It looks like a vicious cycle, to break which there will not be enough just psychological or psychiatristical help. And psychologists are also members of such society, and they also have their own psychotraumas. And they are also parents, they are also not always ideal because of the many stresses in life. And in India, they probably go to gurus, maybe, and some babas. But unlike professional psychologists, they immerse a suffering person in some religious ignorance. Or they tell it's your bad karma, or you should maybe tolerate for future good reincarnation or heaven. And really, gurus themselves cannot be so much more psychologically healthy than their followers. It's many cases like this. As a psychologist, I also face a lot of suffering, pain, illness, frustration, psychological problems of people every day. People come and ask for help because they really want to throw off the burden of suffering, to live joyfully, easily, and freely. But I actually understand that this problem is much more complicated. It's, it's complex social problem, not only individual problem. It's interconnected with all circumstances of our daily lives in all area of our lives. And as a result, we not being able to fully live the way we want, safely, peacefully, and happily. This is one of the main reasons for which I am now helping this Sampurna Samadhan project. And I hope that thanks to the, this new model of social system, our society has a chance for fundamental change, so that society stops traumatizing adults and children, and that the living conditions themselves become such in which people will be psychologically and of course physically healthy and happy. Thank you so much, whoever presented, and we can start. discussion on this topic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Juliana ji. And the session is now open for dialogue, and those
Mhm.
who wish to pose questions can write in the comment box, and they can even join the meeting. I'll share the link of that. Um, just a moment. So there is a bit of echo problem, so the mic
Yeah,
needs
just
to get,
echo. He will
yeah,
go another.
one. Okay. Or you can, yeah, now it's better.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, so um, perhaps we can talk a little bit more about the process of trauma also, which I am little bit interested to
Mhm.
understand
Okay.
how psychology of today uh, understands the process of trauma. Means
Mhm.
something like how Freud explained that. He said that most of the, like what I understand about Freud is that
Mhm.
he said that most of the issues that we face as adults, the roots lie somewhere in our childhood, and the formation of the, how he defined any behavior was through the id, the ego, and the superego. And he said that the id is where our instinctual desires lie, and the ego is a realistic part of our personality, which sees facts as they are, and the superego is the morality part of it, and our behavior is governed by these three
Mhm.
aspects.
Yeah.
And something may be happening. According to him, there must be some explanation. Uh, most of the, I don't know what is the contemporary psychology, how they are defining any trauma process, like what
Mhm.
is happening actually, because of which my behavior today is being governed by the bad experiences that I have had in the past. And he also referred to something as um, repetition compulsion to gain mastery of that situation, which, as like somebody suppose has a very bad, suppose experience where he feels powerless, and he wants to
Mhm.
be go in that situation which is actually destructive for him, but he goes there, becomes a victim. That is what the psychologists are explaining. I have a friend who faced sexual abuse, and
Mm.
she said that she goes into this situation with men so that she can again assert her control, that she moves from the powerless position to the position of power. That's what the psychologist kind of explained to her. And I was
Mhm.
little, for me, I was not clear with that explanation. So I would like to understand more
Mhm.
about what bad experience in a childhood does to the personality, because of which they are saying you are again and again going into that situation because you had a bad experience in the past. This to me is having some, not a very
Mhm.
clear explanation, but some hazy explanation. So, any thoughts regarding this? Like maybe after understanding complete solution philosophical model, how you see things now, Mm, like how you see things,
Yeah.
how trauma is created, and how it is, how hysteria, when person has this traumatic experience, how it results in hysterical behavior regarding that situation.
Mhm. Look, whatever, because Freud, after Freud, was many other psychologists who
Right.
more
Mm.
developed this how our conscious, subconscious, unconscious, how created, by which way. So there is many ideas of Freud now not so much acceptable.
Relevant. Ah, okay.
That's
Hmm.
yeah. Some following in psychoanalysis, like little following, but even though many new conceptions also coming. If simply explain what's happening, one point of view. If it's also little like neuroscience, this explanation
Right.
giving. We like going to process of learning. If we many times repeating, of course we going by same way like like it's doggy of Pavlov. We like doing
Right.
bell anytime, and when she start to listening this bell, immediately saliva coming, because it's process of learning. So and all whatever we like learning, it's like some print in us about something bad. What happening? For example, we not getting some love, taking care from parents. Yes, but we so much wanted, strongly wanting it, and then even not good behavior with us, we trying to like feel pleasure even by this, you know. There is why like some masochist, what happening there? They starting to feeling some pleasure even in beating. You understand one point of view? There is why we like if our father, for example, was cold, but we so much wanted love from him. Until we was child, we again and again wanted love from person who not so much giving love. Maybe sometimes, maybe little. And then, we learned it. And that is why next time some similarity with finding in, for example, in our partner.
So,
We habit waiting love from some person who not giving. And we like just because we did many exercising by this, we doing some
so
unconsciously.
so if a child does not receive fatherly love, according to psychologists, they are saying that this person will look for a fatherly figure in their partner. I mean, that is
Many
what they
times, for
usually
example,
say. Yeah.
someone who not because what means father, who explain about life, like giving like some basic knowledge how to live, what to do.
Right.
If we not give, surely we always will be in search of this, who teach us how to do, because we don't know, we not get satisfying knowledge that time. And we feel we can't live like properly because we don't know how to what properly behavior. Someone like parents, it's first basic figures who giving to us how to love.
Right.
If we not have experience of love, we self we don't know how to express it. And this, of course, when we become adult and thinking there is some problem, we go to psychologist and can learn from zero, because psychologist, in some sense, becoming such partner who can explain whatever they
Right.
not
So
explained
in a way,
from parents.
so in a way these explanation kind of create this feeling that actually, whatever psychological problems happened, it because my, like, suppose any person who he's more deeply involved with their parents or relatives when they're growing up, their formation years. So person who is directly involved in it, naturally the blame goes there, because they're saying, this whatever treatment that you received was the cause of your psychological state now. So it becomes like a natural conclusion that parents are kind of responsible, because psychologists are saying that
Yes, of
the
course.
treatment that you received, yeah. So right.
Not
So we
psychologists,
have
many
with us.
schools. Basically, normal psychologists never tell that, okay, it's parents. Parents, of course, they also many things not understand how we can blame them. Okay,
Yeah.
parents, but now basically psychologists, minimum whatever school. I'm following now, psychologist uh, thinking about this moment, because we now having problem now in now life, and we facing with some problems right now, and we taking these problems what we have or in some situation, and trying to what better to do. It's also some new, what can I tell, new learning, like bells, saliva, but in proper way. Because people like like not in bad kind, in good uh, in
Good
bad
sense.
sense and in good sense also robots, but better be robots in good sense.
Okay.
For example, if someone criticize you and you are hearted, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like okay, if someone criticizes you, surely feel bad, but you can learn that okay, someone criticized, okay, maybe he has this experience thinking like this, but really not like this. I cannot feeling hard also, but this is need exercise,
Yes.
you know and 100 time I exercise, and next time like it's automatically happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
It's
that's
matter of
why they are trying to.
exercising everything. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have with us Premjit ji also, so I'll also pitch this topic to him for what he thinks about how trauma is created, and when we experience something and it goes into our unconscious and becomes part of who we are, then why people again go into those situations and again expose themselves to, you know that kind of situations. Like, uh, people say that when I experienced certain kind of behavior, I again and again went into those situations. So what do you think is the process of, like, how trauma is created and how it continues in a personality?
Yeah, like because for the for the child, the nearest relation relative is parents. For the
Mm-hmm.
child, like nearest relatives are parents. So for any positive things, for any negative things, child will feel like they are more and more responsible. Child will feel it's by nature, because parents are those who bring children in this world, and their like personalities start to build up and develop, start from the parents, by the parents, and then slowly other relatives add, and then school adds, teacher adds, friends adds, culture adds, like other thing adds. So when any
Mm-hmm.
children, when he grow and become adults, when he can think freely or separately he can think, so he will uh, his thinking will stop on his parents. It's naturally. Like most people, when they start to think about uh, their good and bad, what they are feeling now in their life, or they struggling, or they like any positivity and negativity. So when they stop on their parents, because before that they cannot think simply. Only few like a philosophers or very high level thinkers, they can think like a like parents are also in the same side. They are not in the different side,
Right.
because they also they also they also coming from the same process. They also have had parents, and then they also had parents have some culture, have some informations, have some world around them. And like Anpurna ji told, like this is the vicious circle. Parents to parent,
Mm.
parents to parent, and
Yeah, parent
who's
to yeah. Next generation, next
yes,
generation.
yes, yes. But generally, people don't think so big or so lengthy. Like
So
generally, they
widely.
stop.
Mm.
Yes, so widely. They can't think so widely, and
Mm.
simply they can think up to where they are looking, and they are looking. Their base is just parent. Behind parent, they are not looking, or they feeling like a they adult, so they should have all the knowledge or everything. So if they are doing something which should not do, so they are responsible for that. Like people feel simply
Yeah.
like such way.
Yeah.
When I was
Mm.
in college in school, I also thought like this because
Yeah.
we are five children, and even
Mm-hmm.
our family was poor. Like
Mm-hmm.
family was not like the he can take care of five children. Was not possible. How much he earned money? He was in army, and so those days army was not good pay. It's like after 2006, after sixth pay commission, like a little salary become good of uh, in army. Otherwise, in army salary was very less
Mm-hmm.
before that. And he was some type of honest person also, so he did not make any two number earnings and all that. So earnings was very less, and our grandfather's family was already big. So
Mm-hmm.
because my father was elder in his house, and so he had responsibility of both, like his like a brothers sisters, for take caring them, for studying them, for marriage them, and our also. We are at that time children. Okay, that time we were not going for marriage and all that, but for take caring, for good education, for health, it was needed. But yeah, so like this way, I also thought like why my mother uh, don't consider this like his, she did five children or he did five children. Why they were not thinking and all that and all. But now when I went in all research, and I studied my mother's education, my mother's background, my father's background, my father's understanding, all when I studied that, then I reached on this point. Like they also in the same side where children was, they also had not these all informations. They were also just living, and they had not such type of idea like why we are uh, producing so much child or these or that. It was in flow. It was in flow, and they were flowing
Mm-hmm.
in that. They were thinking also like my mother thought, and she tried also to stop after three children, but that medicine didn't work, and one more happened, and then one more happened, and then she did make operation, then this is stopped. Otherwise we could be 10, 15
Mm.
possible. So like such way, when we deeply look these all things, then we understand like our circumstances is the things. Our circumstances is the reason in which, and like our education, our all those things. So because of bad system, their education also was not so much like about life. Okay, my father was mechanical engineer. But in that, he didn't study the life, how should be life, and how should we manage, and how should we like. He didn't know about that. And my mother only ate fail or pass only. So she so like when I studied these all, so then I understood you know this is not their fault, and their parents were more poor in education also, in understanding also, in in wealth condition also, and how much go before this this thing we look like a in worst. So like how like Anpurna ji told this is actually vicious circle and slowly developing. How we getting education, how we getting little more good earnings. So then it becoming little by little good. But it is happening in very slow speed. Like a we cannot look uh, like a drastically change. We're not looking that. It is very slowly happening. Only if we look big span, then only can look, yes, we are going ahead. We're not going back. But it is very slow and very slow. So even uh, in one life, we're not looking so much difference in maximum life. Okay, few middle families who are getting little better, but more than 50 or 60% people in their life, this speed is too much slow. Even they cannot
Oh,
look if we
you're you're talking about the improvement over generation. Are you saying that we are progressing and improving, but it's not visible enough for people to understand that actually there are gradual improvements from one generation to another? Is that what you're
to
saying?
another generation. Yes, I am saying, and
Yeah,
this
yeah.
also varies from uh, in various groups, like who are by chance if their wealth condition become good, so suddenly they go in the next span, and they are it it visible,
There is
it
more
visible
visible.
more
Yeah. So,
more
yeah.
visible. Yes, if we go towards the poor family, the visibility become like a very less, or like very less.
Yeah. So
Very less.
when there is economic growth in some part, then that visibility is more evident. And what you are saying is overall, since income levels have risen and overall poverty has little reduced, although income inequality may have increased, but poverty has reduced. So because of that,
Yes,
you are
yes.
saying that overall situations of our life have improved and it has created a more developed generation. Is that
Yes,
what you're
yes.
saying? Hmm.
Yes, and because because of the wealth, parents are bound to do what they are doing. If they have no money, surely they will not good behavior with their children, because children will ask for every happiness, for everything, but they are looking around themselves, but they cannot fulfill them, and by this child get start to traumas, small traumas, then more big trauma, and by other things
Yeah.
also, because in our society, sex is not freely available. So because child are soft target for that, so many people look them a easy options, and they do this with them also, and they get this type of big traumas also. And this is also because of, if we can look in India, who are the like in rich society, there are more easy to get sex. It is so. Uh, if we can look, this also have the reason of wealth. Who have good wealth, they try to manage for sexual things like outside. They don't easily go towards like towards children or like
Yes. Mhm.
to
Mhm.
make
So all
target
of
them.
so all of this creates situations in the life of child, like parents are fighting, parents are divorcing, some economic some nutrition related problems will be there, some
Yes,
mal many stresses will be there regarding money, and parents can be abusive or getting irritated very fast, some maltreatment can be there. So
yes, yes,
what you're saying is the common public is unaware that all of these is being caused by systemic issues, and their natural
yes, yes,
conclusion is that, and even parents themselves sometimes feel the blame when something bad is done by a child in society. Sometimes if he takes drugs or something, then parents, they themselves feel the blame that something must be deficient in our love or our you know
yes, yes, yes.
treatment
They
that we gave. They
yes,
feel blame, and I guess that, and society also blames that they have not inculcated good uh, you know teachings in childhood time. They were not strict to the child, that's why he has become out of more has gone into bad habit, has fallen into bad company or bad habits. So the blame comes back to the family.
yes, yes. Come to the family, and family also feel this because they wanted to do so much, and like every parents mostly they tried also their best, but because of the the bad system, their tries couldn't success, and that's why most of the time and most of the families they couldn't success to do what they wanted to do for their children, and that's why they felt this, and because they don't understand it is because of system, so they somewhere feel in uh, blame to themselves like okay, it's our fault. But
Hmm.
what they can do also in that, they can
Mhm.
also try, and they tried all their life. So so like this way. But in this way, one more thing also, because the basics of personality start from the parents to the children. So every children get fault in their basic personalities, the basic blocks of their personalities, starting with the millennials blocks.
Yeah.
And
So for
understand.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm. Genetically you are
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
or by behavior, unconscious behavior?
By behavior, it's not by
W-
genetics. These
okay.
things don't go
Okay.
in any genetics. Hmm.
All right. So
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
formation of personality becomes somewhat um, the personality has conflicts, or the development does not take place because what he learns from the parents.
Yes, yes. Because every child get positivity also from the parents, because they get love also sometime from the parents, and this negativity is also from the parents or because of the parents. If other one is
Uh,
doing and it means
yeah.
parent not do not
Can
take
you give
caring.
can you explain it by some example so that it will be clear how this process is taking place?
Like suppose in a home, and if some uncle abusing some child, okay,
Hmm.
uncle abusing, or some relatives abusing who is living with their family, because like
Hmm.
especially in India, in Europe I don't know, in India, like it's like a uncle or little far relatives also sometime live together or nearby, and children go very easily there also, here also. So if uncle or someone doing some malicious behavior with the children, and when that children will become adult, so what he will think like this was the responsibility of his parents, why he didn't understand or why he didn't recognized his brother or his relatives, he such type of, and why he didn't protected them. So both type of, and sometimes they slap and they a cold scold and those also activities. So the all these mixed type of their activities coming from their parents, sometimes love also coming, sometimes like a,
Aggressive behavior also.
aggressiveness, beating also, all the type, all type of behavior is coming from them, and this pattern making in them a personality, or
Hmm.
or if I can say more good, more nicely, like a, because everybody have their like a root personality because of body.
Hmm.
So the original personality distorted because of this, or confused. They couldn't understand properly their parents are loving or hating or beating or what they are actually doing. They never get any such clear message. They never felt. Most of the children, most of the okay, who become little more intelligent, they can understand by other ways, but they are very few. Most of the children, if you were ask them, uh, they were not say clearly like their parents loving them, because they have not such experience in their life.
Yes, it's called like duality of feelings because
Yeah,
such condition you like really
yeah,
love me or hate me what they're doing. So it's not like behavior of love according to children, but for example mother doing it with love, she thinking that he like doing something, but children not clear, like such duality
yes,
feeling experience.
yes, yes. And now we know all parents, like maximum parents loving their children and doing all what they can do maximum for them, and what they are doing negative behavior, it is because of the circumstances forcing them. So but children cannot understand that. They take things
Just
directly, like
direct.
they, yes, they take things directly, they think according to that. And that's why most of the relations between parents and children are not positive, are not overall good.
Hmm.
So this this make distort their personalities also, and by that personality they have to think, they have to understand. When personality is distorted, then the thinking, the
So,
understanding, how it can be in right way or in right direction, how
Yeah,
possible.
this psychological help, it's only for a more deep understanding, look in situation more widely, like from
Yes,
position of adult, position of more
yes,
intelligent. Then we
yes,
can
and
change.
yeah, yes, yes. And this works only for them who have little bit intelligence, because this psychological understanding also work for them who have little understanding. Otherwise, who feeling strongly like my my brother, he strongly felt feeling like my father and my mother did not love him so much.
Hmm.
So no any psychologist will can make him convince for this.
Because
Hmm.
they're not cultural. So here, whoever going to psychologist, they're ready to understand. Minimum
Yes,
here.
yes,
Coming,
yeah, yeah,
they can understand.
yeah.
Because whoever like this,
Even
they don't go any psychologist. They don't
yes,
think that also.
yes, yes. You are right. It means he has not a single doubt in his this conclusion. He has not a single doubt. He is
Right.
very clear about this. Yes. So
Hmm.
and how this is happening? Like the others, like my auntie also, he made him convince when he was like a adult, like in school and that. So she made him like she made help him to make such ridiculous like such a bad conclusion, like your mother love your elder brother not like you. And because I was ill and you know uh, my childhood was not so much healthy, so simply if I like a parents will do little more care to the ill child, it's generally
Hmm.
simply.
Hmm.
But how can how he can understand this by average understanding? So there are many things, and it is also not necessary, like it is not also necessary like every parents can be wealthy, so it is not necessary like every parents can be intelligent or have like a good knowledge about uh, good and bad and all these things also there. So like
Right. They can
most of
make
the,
mistakes. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, they, yes, they can
Hmm.
make mistakes in the bed system
Hmm.
very easily because
Hmm.
actually they flowing there, they flowing there.
Yeah. So, like in some cases, like suppose a father was very controlling due
Hmm.
to his own reasons, then the child does not like his father uh,
Yes.
because he was very controlling. But when he has a child, then in one case, he also carries the same pattern, and in another case there could be that uh, he says that my father was very controlling, but I am going to give my child a lot of freedom so that he does not experience what I experienced. So there can be one
Hmm.
instance where this can happen because of the bad treatment that one received. He felt that this, at least I will not do this to my child what he did to me. And and there can be another thing that unconsciously this same behavior came onto the first generation, like what he did not like, but he himself uh, uh, unconsciously has the same pattern when he is expressing, because so how does this kind of unconscious pattern form? Because suppose my father was overthinking, and he felt anxiety about some things. I do not like it, that these are things not to be get anxiety about, but
Hmm.
I also have those patterns. So how does that happen? Means I am recognizing that this is something wrong in my father, but it has come on to me, even though,
It,
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
actually it is not coming like through your father or that things. It is like coming actually from the circumstances. Maybe your circumstances and your father's circumstances is very near to close, like a like same. So
Okay.
such type of things it come like 60% people who are poor, they almost doing same behavior with their parents, and not only with their like children's, like to anyone, almost very similar. They do. It's not coming like from one to another, and this is also not because like a time to time, little by little, we going for the better because the
Right.
the financial condition is happening good. It's not because of we are becoming intelligent. It's because of the wealthy condition how is becoming good and good. So naturally this thing start to come. Like if I have so much good wealth, so simply I will not stop to give anything for my children. Obviously,
Hmm.
most of the time when children will ask something to me, I will give, and because of this he or she will feel good by this. And it is not like I am a good father or bad father. It's just I am a poor father or rich father. This is difference only.
Mm.
Because
You know,
today's also today's today's also poor father also love their children, but how can express, which way will express? Just by kissing, just by hugging is it's not enough. You
Yeah.
know, so children
mm,
want cycle, children want good like a dress, children want good this, that, and for that need money. And if poor father has not, even he is loving or mother, good parents loving their children so much or enough, but how children can identify this? Not. So children identify by what they are getting from the parents. So, so by that, and this depend on the richness and poorness. This depend on richness. It not depend on how much father loving or not loving. Because they loving obviously. When they rich, also loving. When they poor, also loving. That thing is similar. Only the richness or poorness making the difference and distorting all things.
Mm.
And this vicious circle can stop only when such system can come who drastically change this richness for everyone. If this system will carry on, it will it will do very slowly, and only for those who will come in the wealthy circle. Who will be out of the wealthy circle, they will be same.
So what you're saying is, we should understand that if there is any negative behavior, it's not because of the what abilities or inabilities we inherited, but this situation around us now, because of which our constitution is reacting to it in a certain way. So instead of
Yeah.
focusing that this is the strength or weakness that I inherited from my ancestors, I am like this, like whether of a certain constitution, whether I am fair skinned or dark skinned, or whether I am strong or weak or intelligent or dumb, whatever, whoever I am, the usual conclusion is that my ancestors were like this, and therefore I am not able to cope up with this situation or whatever strengths or weaknesses I have. But instead of that, the focus should be that the system is creating situations in which we are responding in positive or negative ways. In So it's more about that, how situations are getting created around us, because of which we are able to cope up with that, or getting stressed or getting irritated or getting angry. So it's more about the system, the situations created by the system.
Yes, yes, and
That
this
is
we
the
can
real
under
question. Hmm.
yes, and that we can understand more easily if we can understand what is actually personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like generally now people think like the way of behavior is also the part of personality. It's not the part of personality. Personality means only simple our likes and dislikes, nothing else. We can
Right.
understand whole personality in these two words, likes and dislikes. And
Hmm.
everyone has their sets of likes and dislikes. Everyone likes few things and dislikes few things. And if he or she getting the things according to his likes and dislikes, then his behavior will be well. It's nature. It's naturally.
But look, it's like dislikes, it's created by growing, or what like dislikes you are telling about?
No,
Because
and
it's in
dislikes.
process of education, process of like raising, so these likes and dislikes
No,
creating.
no, likes dislikes not creating by the education or by the other things. For base of likes and dislikes, this our body composition.
It's okay, but
What we getting by
what is
it
exactly? Can you give some
it
example?
you
What
it
like
you can under
real, like natural likes, or what is cultural like?
yeah it you can understand by genetics. Like when we born, we get some particular genetics.
We get, for example, in my genetics, like
For
tendency for depression. So it means I like depression or what?
no no no
It's some, in
depression.
body not enough, like noradrenaline, like some, or like in
No,
my
no,
genetics, wish for
not this.
alcohol. What is
No,
it?
this is not the personality.
But it's
Pers-
genetic,
Not, it's also not genetic.
genetics.
No, they are saying it's genetic, but I'm not understanding it's genetic. They are saying because they have to give us some answers.
No, look, it's, for example, what means tendency for depression in genetic? It means some like chemicals not enough producing, and it's like imbalance of like mode happening
Not,
in him.
but why this is happening? Because
Because body it's chemical
something
condition.
become
Yes, yes. Something not good, but one person like more easy accepted. But one person
not
whose body created by this way, like more deeply going to some suffering.
no. This is you saying those psychological problems which is coming because of some like a physical problem. This I am not saying.
Physical means yes, like such body.
This,
So means
so
this
so
body will be by birth.
yeah, but I'm not saying about that. Like maybe someone can take birth like polio type of who's not work hand and
Yeah,
uh,
people.
feet. So I'm
Means
not talking about that. Those are the like some problems when he was in.
neurological aspects.
So yeah, that is another aspect. We not talking about that. When we are talking about the personalities means however he took birth and now those likes and dislikes, like what he want to do and what he don't want to do, what he want to eat, what he don't want to eat,
We
like
understand
these
it
types
when
of person.
this person growing, but when it's child, it's already some natural
Yeah,
like dislikes
y-
in him.
yes, all child have
How
all
it
those
can be
things.
like just naturals? Because it's depending on which will be around him, what the like situation, like what culture will be around, what how it can be natural likes dislikes.
Not by culture, like you can look those things like my culture and my brother culture are same or not same, no? My mother
The
father, my
environment when yes, it was same,
yeah, culture
but not
same, almost
completely same. It's not
environments.
completely same. When mother like was pregnant by you, it was everything different. When mother was pregnant by him, it's also everywhere was different. Many different.
Yes,
Nothing
yes. So
same.
Yes,
It
yes.
means
So because
everything,
of,
it's cultural.
yeah, that also can be, but because of these differences, I I'm getting a body, na, like which is the result of all these things. Okay,
So
when
mother,
I
father
bought,
created your body different from his body.
yes,
It means
yes,
already no matter that we are in same surrounding, it means culture not affect you so much. Means already
that,
body was like this, so no matter what will be around. Body is body,
yes, yes,
like dislike, it's fixed by birth.
yes, yes, yes. But then also, because this body have some basics, it cannot be a wish for s- suffering.
No, it's of course.
Any type any type of body cannot go for wish for suffering. Okay, this also we understanding. Every body will be go for happiness, but happiness, it depends on some particular his likes and dislikes. Like a someone likes some type of vegetables, some type of thing, some type of
But
game,
it's
some type
also
of, like everybody
culturally,
has
not?
this difference.
It's depending what people around eating, not? Those
No,
No,
like.
what he's
no.
saying is
I
it's a
wanted to say
two-step
something
process.
else. Yeah,
Mhm.
I am wanting I wanting say something like a, something differ of this. When child start to grow, so what he will experience around, so
Mhm.
he will pick from them likes and dislikes.
According
It's
his
likes
body.
and dislikes. Yes, yes, according to his body. Which thing he will not experience anything like that thing not happening there. So how he can judge like this is his according to his
Like,
likes or dislikes. Yeah,
okay.
when things come in
Mhm.
his or her experience, then he decide na by experience like a this game or this
Mhm.
food or this style or this child or this acting or this or that, he feeling happy like a happiness inside him when he was going through those things. If feeling
Mhm.
happy, he will keep that thing in the memory like a, this is my likes, and in the future frequently he would he would like to repeat that. Okay,
Okay.
and some things which coming in his or her experience and he not feeling good, he feeling it's not good taste, it's not good style of cloth, it's not good game, it's not like, so he will keep those things in different folder which he will say like a dislikes. So like such
But
two type of folders he will made, and
means like
everything.
whatever you're calling like like natural likes dislikes, it's no form because we only can look some in some form likes dislikes. But like
Yes,
natural
yes,
likes, it's some without some form, something, a special wish, whatever according his body. Yes, but it's
yes,
not
yes.
for
According,
its culturally.
it,
It's only like he can choose one or another form.
yeah. By culture, what will happen? By culture, things will come in certain order, and something will come, something will not come. Okay, like Muslim culture. So many those things will not come in his experience, which generally happen in Hindu family, not in Muslim family. Okay, so he will choose amongst them likes and dislikes in
Mm-hmm.
starting, but it is not a typical thing. When he will grown up, like when he will become 20, 25, then maybe many those things also will come to experience, which generally happen in Hindu family or in Christian family. Among them also, he can feel something like, something dislike also. So
No, it's
like
okay. This
things will become
it's okay,
visible, yeah, visible to
visible.
him.
But
Before
what
that
means like
he
natural
can't
like
say.
dislikes? It's like
So
some
this,
tendency for attracted by our elements, whatever
yes,
we
yes,
have.
Yes, yes, and when we are saying when we are saying natural or cultural, so because system is not according to nature, so simple uh, decision like our likes and dislikes will also be distorted. These are not natural.
But it not means that if good system, person was born in some like Muslim family, yes,
Yes.
he in it not means that it's naturally he likes. He just was born there.
No, then he
I
will
don't
be.
understand so much this point.
Yes, yes, it will be like such system because in good system it will not make sense for the children so much sense because what he will look and like looking, this is liking and this is disliking, and when little he will grow and he will go little outside with the Hindu families also, and if he will feel
Mhm.
something liking there, he will ask to their like parents, and their parents will also provide easily because uh, ev- every child will get all things from the system. So then it will be natural, no? Then because there is no any boundary by which you are not getting or you are forcing to not get. These things make us unnatural. Like if I feeling some attraction to something, and I making order for that, like I want to uh, enjoy this thing, and if my father or anyone, if they giving to me, so it will be natural, simple.
It means like children not so much maybe recognize it's like Muslim or Hindu.
Yeah,
He
they,
wants
yes, yes,
like
they
good
don't
food,
recognize.
like good colors. It's good
Yes,
Muslim
yes,
food or good Hindu food. It should be like
yes,
just
yes,
tasty, matching with my
yeah,
body, or some coloring,
yes.
some clothes. I not so much recognize it's Hindu or Christian, but it looks like wow, like interesting, colorful, and I want.
Yes, yes. So when they grow like 10, 15 years, when they become, then they start to understand this Hindu Muslim type of things because these are not easy to like it, even you will ask to 10-year-old child like are you Hindu or Muslim? Maybe he can tell because uh, their family can tell them you are Hindu or Muslim, but they couldn't understand what is the meaning of Hindu or Muslim. They
Because it's not
understand this
natural,
later.
it's not
Yes,
natural.
yes.
I think.
Yeah, this is not natural. This is imposing things. So, because of this, we can understand easily. And here, not the question of natural things or like imposing things. Here, question is about that if child is asking for anything, if he is getting, his personality will go in a right way. He will not feel any negativity, and if he
Mm.
will not feel any negativity, simply he will not blame anyone for this, and he will not feel animosity with anyone simply. So it's a simple calculation. Because of that, it's not a question about natural or artificial. It's question about his likes only. If he is getting his likes continuously and he is not getting any unlikely things, so he will feel friendliness with everyone, with parents also, with neighbors also, with uncles also, with far who are living far, with those also. Because child understand friendship or animosity because of this behavior, which accumulate from the childhood up to he become little free like a 15-20 year old. So all base, if it is
Yeah,
with animosity, yeah, so these are the
there,
traumas. If with animosity, these are traumas.
Yeah, there is why they're starting to like whatever basically people not like. Even like
Yeah.
masochist character. Basically, not no one likes it, someone beaten, or but if you so you starting like some strange things.
Yes.
You like by nature you like different things like normal, but it's just distorted, and you starting like something what really bad liking, like a
Yes. 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 Who become masochist? Masochist means like a they distorted so much by this system, so much like a now they trying to get happiness in the bad
happiness.
things,
Bad
in the
things.
bad things
But they
bad way.
also want to try get happiness.
Yeah, like a
Obviously, they want happiness by this.
yeah, like a, we can say this now, like a person are trying to find taste in wine who which is like what say that taste, sour taste or like
Mm-hmm.
kadwa.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so
Bitter.
they
Huh.
yeah bitter taste. So but they trying to something good in bitter taste also, because we have only bitter things around us, so what we can do.
So it becomes a means an unnatural reality for them. It's just that their
Yeah,
perceptions are distorted, and they think that is how it is. Like
yeah,
some
yes, yes,
position of power will give them that happiness, but
yes,
actually it's just their psychological makeup that is uh, driving them
yes,
to pursue that path. In
yeah,
actuality, they are not receiving any pleasure, but it's a kind of distorted pleasure
yes, yes,
The
because of
receiving pleasure,
yeah,
receiving pleasure, because from childhood it's already they practicing so much this, and
yeah,
like
yeah, it's
automatically they're doing again and again,
yeah, it's just
yeah,
like some
starting such pleasure.
yeah,
It's difficult
yes,
because its personality already developed. You should stop and think it's really good pleasure. Maybe I should change my personality for getting pleasure from some another good things. It's not simple task for adult. So they again
yes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yes,
of
again
course.
going for
Mm.
same strange things because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
yes,
so much difficult to change all personality what
right.
many years
Yeah,
created.
yeah,
yeah. Even like obsessive compulsive disorder, even though people understand that they have these phobias or these hooks where
Uh,
they can't stop themselves cleaning. Say for example, there is one person who goes to shower, and this is on like a entertainment program. This question was asked to him, and
mhm.
although it was like done in a comic way, but actually he does that, and
Yeah,
he does
I
50
also seen.
times head
Mhm.
rub with his towel. It
Yeah.
has to be 50 or multiples of 50. 20
Mm-hmm.
times he has to do this or multiples of 20, and then 20 times like this, then only he feels that he has, he can move on to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a normal
Yeah.
celebrity personality telling that he has this disorder, like, and he just can't stop it, because if he does that, then it's not
It
easy
will
process.
suffer.
It's like Lord.
He'll
Yeah,
suffer if don't do all these rituals. He will really
right,
suffer.
Rich.
By these
Yeah,
rituals, they like relax from some anxiety, whatever inside.
yeah.
It's also
So
curing,
mm,
but it's need a very strong wish of this person because it's also just need to take time for a new program make, new program make.
yeah,
But no
and we can
everyone can. It's difficult also.
yes, and we can imagine, like sometime people ask question to me, like who have such type of habits, like distorted habits for long
Mhm.
time. if we change this system, so what will happen to them? They will
Right.
feel uh, easy in that
Mm-hmm.
system, or they will feel like a trauma, like like change, like suddenly change type of things. Like will they feel easy in this, or they will feel more complex,
Yeah, more traumatized because things have
more
changed now
traumatized for
and
me?
ways.
Yeah. So when I discovered those things in me, because everybody has, like many habits everybody has, I also have. So when I discovered, and I went in these things, so I looked like, if we bring change uh, only outside, like what is the main cause for these problems? If we don't change that, but change outer outer scenario, like and we try to change anyhow outer circumstances without changing the root thing, then it not help so much, because we
I
have
didn't understand. I didn't understand when you are saying, but how will you change outer scenario if you are not addressing the root cause?
uh, like sometime somebody help in that, na, like
Okay,
okay,
okay.
like somebody give you a, a donation, okay, for 5 6 months you can become easy.
So temporary fix.
Yeah, yes, yes. So
Hmm.
that will be temporary. That will not be permanent.
Uh-huh.
So, so the main things will be continuous there, like because things will shift after 6 months. It will
Right.
be little easy, but question will be
Right.
the same. Like what will happen after 6 months or 1 year?
Yeah.
So, so he will not use those things for 6 months also easily. Like for me, I have
Mm-hmm.
very few money in my wallet, and I know like the money will not come to me, and I am not doing anything to earn the money. So I even money came from somewhere, like somebody helped me. But then also because there is not necessary like that person will give when I will need. Even that person give to me. Even he say also, okay, I will give. But then also, because of the circumstances like such way, I cannot believe on these things. Or if I believe also on that personality, maybe he also become poor. Then what will happen? So
Mm-hmm.
then I will not spend this money same way. If I have a regular income, that time I will spend.
You keep
Hmm.
trying to keep little more for future.
Yeah. So okay, this thing will make me easy, little easy.
Not
It will
make
decrease
it
my
easy.
worriness, but it will not finish my worriness. So that's why if we change the root cause, like what we are now working for, which if we change the root, so people will try for 4 5 6 months little with worry, like because they
They will
cannot
check.
feel like it will be permanent. Yes, yes, they will try to check like it can be permanent, or it is just for coming and going things. And in 5 months 6 months or 1 year, when they will feel, oh no, because then they will understand, okay, it is now system actually. So
Mm-hmm.
how system working 6 months, it will work for whole life, no problem. It's a actually system.
Means a
So then
reliability
they will
factor will
understand.
be very high.
Yes, 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 right. So then they will come in the natural form. Suddenly they will come. Like how much they will get this by experience, by their understanding, it depends on person to person. Like who will be the intelligent, they will come very quickly. Who are not intelligent, who will experience this 6 month, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and then they will come in their natural form. Then
mm,
their then their they will start to play, or they will start to live according to their natural likes and dislikes. Then slowly all like a these factors will start to uh, disappear. It will like disappear. People will
mm,
feel like, oh, what I was doing in my life for 1 month, suddenly no, I am not doing. They will feel suddenly. It will be
mhm,
like disappear. Hmm. Because he was doing those things because of some continuously circumstances, and
mhm,
because now those circumstances are not, so now I am not bound to be do that. And because other circumstances coming, and these are positive circumstances for me, and now the positive activities, positive thinkings, positive things will take place. The my compulsive things, and compulsive things will start to disappear.
it's just matter of time,
Yeah, it's
but it
just
surely
matter of time.
will. Yeah.
Yes, and time depends
Yeah.
on their understanding levels, or who has not so much understanding. It will depend their
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, we have in when we did product design in mechanical engineering, we used to do something called reliability engineering, and we would calculate the uh, reliability of that product. We would build into that product certain reliability, like how much in a certain environment, what is the chances that this is going to work. So
Mm,
that is why taking into consideration the environment in which that product will be used, it is made highly reliable, because that is a positive thing. That's why when we are using a brush, then the designer of the toothbrush has taken into account that it is for all types of usage. Somebody will be rough, somebody will be using it lightly, but still it will not break. So it does,
mhm,
we don't worry that it will break. But when I am going outside into the traffic, I am not sure who is going to hit my scooter or car, because
mm,
reliability is not built into that, because there is human fact, many humans are interacting there, and what kind of stresses they are undergoing, or their like attention is there or not, or so many factors are coming into play. So it's a very highly unreliable place. And
mhm,
therefore there will be people who can panic because it looks very unreliable. But I guess when it crosses certain limit, then person feels that okay, it's pretty reliable and I'm not going to panic anymore. Like, because what, one doctor we met, and he is actually he was giving advice on obsessive compulsive disorder. And he said that it is very mm, interesting statement. He said to that patient that, look, I was treating people in corona. There were times when we thought this person will die, and we found that later he survived. And there was times then where we cured the patient, he went out
mm.
happily, and he was hit in an accident and he died, and it is real story. And he said, so everything is in the hands of God, don't
Ah,
worry, it's all under his control. So he experienced
mm,
unreliability so much that we cured this person, and next day he is dead by a car
mhm,
accident. So he felt like so strongly this, that he made the conclusion it's totally unreliable, nothing is
mhm,
predictable. and he's a qualified doctor, a sane doctor, and he's a science person, and he's feeling like that nothing here is reliable, anything can happen, and therefore he must be in some sort of panic definitely himself. Or he was trying to balance it by saying that okay, everything is under God's control.
Yeah, so-called cognitive errors. Because if he calculate how much such case, how much like whenever really we can by understand, so it looks like sometimes happening, not every time.
Yes,
Okay.
But
yeah,
even
yes,
one
yes.
time
Many
happened, that
things
one time
can.
could be you. That is.
Yeah, when if big happenings happen like this accident and this like this affect the people thinkings. Like now maybe he can think like a, oh, no need to so much, like try to cure people. They can die on road also. So no meaning to cure
What
here
is,
also.
yeah.
If
Hmm.
yeah, if that person die here or there, what make difference? If if rely if rely if reliability is
Oh,
very less, so person can feel like a, and anyone can feel this because experience is the big things, especially mostly people. They learn through the experience. They not learn through the intelligence. They learn through their experience, not others experience. So
Yeah, and
and
neuroscientists
they
also
take
telling that
decision.
our
Yes.
brain work like this. That whoever like
Yeah.
this part, whatever connecting with intelligence, who it's very slow. Basically, we're working by this brain who quick decision taking because it's for living more easy. People want to just
Yeah.
live,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yeah.
for
And
people can live, someone should thinking slowly, intelligently, and create this condition. For maximum people can just live and not so much
yeah.
care about many extra things.
Yeah, they thinking like such also. Like today, I was looking interview of like in Yagnik ji. There is Raul who living in US. So he wrote a book like Chemical Gita type, Chemical Gita,
Mhm.
and I think how much I understand, he is atheist. Before he was believer, but now he is atheist, and I think he trying in that book to explain that it's nothing else. It's just a chemical locha. Ma- Human being is nothing else. It's just a chemical. But the
hmm.
question arises this like if this is just a chemical, so why you writing a book on that? For whom? For chemical. You want to make You want to make chemical intelligent.
No, I
It
talk
it's
about
like
That's
same.
something else.
It's
It's
like
uh,
same question. Hmm?
it's not same. I told that it's reality that maximum people want to take quick decision in situation.
No, no,
You know,
no.
that is why it's
That's
happening. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. That's okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this like a, when people get some experience, so they influenced so much by their experience. Even they don't analyze that properly.
Yes, because for analyzing, it's scientists doing analyzing.
Yeah, yes.
Mainly,
No,
who do
yeah.
analyzing?
Yes, yes.
They want because if it's happening, it can happen. They thinking surely it
Yes,
can't
yes.
happen. Maybe rarely, but if it happens, it happens. Of course,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
will feel fear of, like afraid of this.
Yeah,
So
yes, yes.
that is why, so whoever can think should care about these people for they not happening such in their life.
Yeah, yes, yes. And all are trying to do this also, and that's why we are slowly we are going for betterment.
Mhm.
Mm,
Because here also, especially in politics, some criticize, people like don't do this. We should like collect and make new government, but people don't want anything. They're lazy. They're like, like animals.
mm,
It's not proper. People want
yeah,
more
yes,
simple way. Why they should do many this drama? If they politicians, if they understand what to do, they can explain people, collect, like telling what go like we can do by this way. By this way, it will be this good. It's
yes,
like
yes,
saying
yes.
because people wants to live, not everyone want to scientifically look on
Mm.
phenomenon.
Yes, yes, and mostly people just they want to live and they want to live happily. This all want. Mm. They also want actually, and who wrote this book, Chemical Gita? He is a businessman, good businessman in America. He is a
He
good
normally
businessman.
want to live earning by his book. He wrote book for more earning, for
he
more happening.
No, he
so
has already big money.
He
Mm.
already poor
Yes.
he
famous.
has
Why
written
he wrote?
Uh,
he's written a book on evolution psychology in Gujarati called Rasainik Gita.
yes, yes,
Rasayan means chemical.
Rasainik Gita. Yes, yes, Chemical Gita. वही
Yes.
Rasainik Gita.
So he's
Mm.
explaining evolution psychology by this process, how maybe how people are
Mhm,
making choices and all that, and ultimately maybe
mhm,
he's trying to say that this whole behavior he's trying to explain by the natural principles. That's what I'm guessing, like
mhm,
laws of
He,
biology and
yes, yes,
chemistry and
yes, yes,
uh,
yes,
mm,
yes, yes. Yeah, yes. And Yagnik ji promised him like they will read this book and like he will read this book and he will write content on that and make program here, and if
mhm,
people will ask questions so he will call this guy and he will answer also them.
yeah, that's a very good way. Yeah,
by English
Yes,
he
yes.
maybe.
will do, not by
Not
Hindi.
in Hindi, in Hindi,
English
yeah,
by
yeah. He,
English not possible.
I think possible, but I think he his channel is in Hindi or and he is also in Indian.
Mhm,
This guy also Indian, basically Indian from Gujarat, but now
mhm,
he is living
He's
in
written in Gujarati
US.
this book.
Yes, yes, he is
mhm.
Gujarati already.
And
So means its meeting
mm,
will be in Hindi.
Yeah, its meeting will be Hindi, but we can we can translate or
Ah,
you can
we
discuss
can
with
make here
Yagnik
also.
also.
Not
Yeah,
if
we can
it
make
will
here
be
also.
this meeting, Ambridge can make heroes,
Yes, yes, Amrezi also
the
can call him and
consequence of.
yes, yes, Amrezi can call him and on our platform and can ask our questions and he can answer those things also in English. It will be more
Mhm,
yeah,
good.
I guess the
Mhm.
best way would be to have a review first with what Yagnik ji
mhm.
is proposing,
Yes, yes,
and
yes. First
Yes,
based
review.
on that, he can look what kind of questions we have already put forward, and he
Mhm,
can come prepared also for that.
mhm,
yeah,
mhm,
So in that
like
way, time, yeah,
yes, yes, like I can ask for time for question. I can ask him.
right. So
Mm.
mhm,
that way he would be more interested because he will find that a proper
mhm,
analysis has already been done, and he can then just simply respond to that.
Yes,
So
yes,
what Yagnik ji is suggesting is a good way to go, and we can do apply the same procedure like for any popular you know, presentations that
Mm,
are, you know, given in the world, any theory, we can do a review and put an
mm,
open invitation that they are, any member of their group are welcome to participate. We will do a review and post it
mm,
on YouTube. We will put their points,
Yes,
do
yes.
a review, and post it on Facebook, or sorry, our YouTube channel, and they are openly invited to give clarifications to that
mm,
question, those questions.
Yeah, yeah, I'm coming.
Um,
Just
yeah. So I guess it's time now also, and
yeah,
if
we can
yeah,
finish.
we can we can conclude the meeting for today. If anyone
Mm.
has anything further to say, please write it in the comment box.
But minimum, yeah, we can understand, and in good system, such changing, good changing happens also, and no need so much like changing personality. And can time, it's matter of timing how quickly we can live according our nature. But now,
Hmm.
even though I like my profession now, because right now people suffering and want to do something for now, trying to live happily. So, and
Yes,
for this,
surely.
yeah, and it's many instruments also for helping. Otherwise, it's only waiting we can do. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we will conclude for tonight,
Yeah,
and yeah,
mm,
thank you very much, all of us, to all of you, for joining and watching this
thank
program,
you.
and we will meet again next week. So
Mhm.
good night. Yeah,
Good night.
good night.